Hey friends, Catherine here. A little while back we painted a watery background with Q-tips, and now it's time to do the subject. I'm thinking tentacle monster. I feel tentacle monster deeply in my heart, so we're gonna paint us a tentacle monster. That having been said, I did also get a recommendation to do a submarine, and I was kind of toying around with the idea with that anyway. So I'm going to do a submarine. He's going to be playing with a submarine. He's going to be playing with a little yellow submarine toy, sort of bath time-esque. For the colors today, I figure we can do the submarine in an apple barrel yellow flame and a little bit of orange in there to give it depth too. This is the Craft Essentials orange spice. I've got some white and black set aside here just because I'm going to need some white and black. This is the apple barrel jet black and Deco Arts white. And then for the tentacles, I was toying with the idea of purple, and then I thought maybe green, but I think I want to go red. I think I want to go red and a little bit of gold in there. So I've got some Folk Art metallic pure gold, and then I've got some, for the red, I've got some apple barrel barn red and some Delta cream coat red. Tom Thread. So let's get started. I think the first thing that I want to do is lay down where I want the tentacles to be coming from and just give it a sort of idea in shape, because I can always paint over it. So I'm going to start with my brighter red and find a brush I like. None of these are brushes I like. Ooh, how about this one? This is a nice angled brush. So we'll just pick up some red with it and decide where we want our tentacle monster to be coming from. I don't think I want to be able to see the full tentacle monster. I think I just want tentacles rising off from the bottom of the painting. So let's see, I think at the bottom and then off center just to the right. That's probably going to be right there. Well, I put the paint down now, so there's no going back. And then we can have the tentacle holding the submarine, rising up and coming this way, and then it can be curling around the submarine right here. And so that'll be a good indicator of where we want that tentacle to be. Let's just bring it down over the edge just to make sure. And then I'm thinking 3 or 4 more. So maybe another one coming off in this direction and curling around. There we go, something like that, maybe. And then something coming up in this direction and crossing behind this one, maybe. Yeah, like that. And then something maybe just coming up from a little bit to the side, because those are going to want to be wider, and reaching out in that direction. Reaching for more, because our tentacle monster is greedy. Okay. And then I think one more. You could have more tentacles off a picture outside of the frame of our work here, but I think those are the ones that we're going to be able to see. I think one more, maybe. Maybe something coming up from this side, but then going up and reaching over this way. Just kind of curves Okay, so let's widen these out a little bit more. First thing, I'm going to make them a little bit wider, and we can always make them wider, but it's really hard to make them narrower, so we'll take that in stages, I think. Just slowly bringing them outward. Right, and down around the edge of the canvas, trying to remember to do that. Go. Okay, and then this comes sort of this direction. And that way maybe a little bit. Just kind of filling it out a little bit so we have an idea of where we're going with those. Okay. And then this one, I think, is going to be coming from all the way over here. Yeah. I like that. Reaching across itself. Go. Okay. And then this one can be just sort of attached way down here, or like very close to it anyway. And it's reaching further in that direction. There we go. Something like that. All right, so we've got our base for our tentacles down. Now let's fill out our submarine some. Clean off this brush, because I'm a fan of using one brush for an entire piece if I can get away with it. Using one brush means I have fewer brushes to clean. And then let's switch over to our yellow flame. This one has still got the plastic on it, so we're going to have to get it open. If we can. There we go. And put a little bit of yellow out. And pick up some of that yellow. And I'm feeling the submarine should be at an angle, maybe rising toward the center of the painting, like it's trying to escape the clutches of the monster, the great beast, holding it in its grasp. Okay. And maybe something a little more pointed toward the end, maybe. And drawn backward, and then with like a square coming out of the back end. I don't honestly know what submarines look like, but I imagine they have like protrusions and things. A square part coming out from the back to hold the propeller? I'm guessing here, you guys. Like I said, I don't honestly know what submarines look like. I imagine they're kind of rounded ovals that move around underwater. All right, something like that maybe. And then it's going to need like a hatch at the top, so another toward the back, maybe? Something like that. Okay. And then while this yellow is still wet, let's get out a bit of orange and mix it in it and give it like some shadows and things. That's our Craft Essentials orange spice. And we'll mix it in with a little bit of the yellow. Just to make something sort of peach colored. And then go along the bottom. And like that, maybe. Pick up a little bit more of that peach that we mixed up and bring it that way, and then bring it around the shape of it. Yeah, that's coming out nicely, I think. I kind of like that peach color, actually. And then maybe a little bit around here, but like in a semicircle going this direction. Yeah, that should work. Okay. And then maybe a little bit of definition there. And maybe like right there. Now I'm just kind of playing with it. But that's what painting is, in case you hadn't noticed. Just playing with it. Okay. So that's a fairly good submarine shape, I think. It's going to want for like windows. Now I know, practically speaking, it's a better idea not to actually have windows in a submarine. And I know also that they're not called windows, but this is a toy submarine. Our little tentacle friend is playing with it. So let's rinse out our brush and grab a little bit of black, just a tiny little bit, and put some ports on our submarine. I think just like three ports or windows. And there we go. Maybe it gets those a little bit bigger, because why not? If we're going in for it, we might as well go in full force. There we are. Okay. And then maybe like some bolts along there. And a periscope, because it's a submarine, so it should have a periscope. All good submarines do, don't you know? And then we can do the propeller on the back in black as well. And that'll just be a straight line. I don't think it needs anything more defined than that. And that is pretty much a submarine, I think. That's pretty well a submarine. Okay, let's take the black out of our brush and go back to our red. So let's see, this tentacle is coming up this way. Should we have it wrapped around behind the hatch or in front of it? I think it's leaning more towards behind, personally, my own opinion. And since I'm the one who's painting it, my opinion is the most important. So let's bring it up behind. Let's make that a little wider. And then maybe down, curling around like this, like it's holding it gently and casually, because it's playing with it. Let's grab a little bit more red and have it curled like this, maybe. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Curled around our little submarine. And a little bit more this direction. Sometimes people don't think of that, but if you got the mass of something, it has to, if it's wrapping around another object, it has to extend beyond it. So you've got to bring it out further than the object that it's around. There we go. Okay. Now, let's maybe make these a little bit more curly at the end. Yeah. Go, and that one can curl that direction, making a little bit more curly. That one can go that way. Okay, and then that one can be like that. Okay. So now those are going to be this color, this red color is going to be the outside of the tentacles. We've outlined it in the red, and that's great and everything. That's going to be the, I don't know how else to describe it, the back side, the skin side of the tentacles. So it's great for laying it out because we're going to cover it up with our darker red in just a moment. Let's just widen this up a little bit in this direction and make sure we wrap everything around the edge of the canvas really well. Okay, now, are those all wide enough? I think they are. I think they're mostly all right. This one could maybe be a little bit wider. Go. Then maybe just a little bit right there, just to thicken that one up just a little bit. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good, if I do say so myself, which I do. All right, now let's grab our barn red and unwrap it because it also happens to be wrapped. There we go. Make sure that we're staying in screen. Aha, perfect. Okay, and then take our barn red and pick it up and put it on the inside, the underside of the tentacles. So this one's going to be wrapping this direction, I feel like. Ooh, maybe that barn red is not a different enough color. Interesting. That's not going to work for me then. Let me mix some black into that. See if I can't get something a little darker. There we go. That seems to me to be mixed. So let's try this out. There we go. That's the color I'm looking for. Awesome. Okay. Bring it across and down the inside. Because this is the center of our tentacle, where all of these suction cups will be. Because our tentacles are going to have suction cups. It is vital that our tentacles have suction cups. Otherwise, how would you know that it's going to hold you on and never, never let you go? You wouldn't. Go, okay, and then the inside of this one, the one that's holding the submarine, is going to be facing the submarine on the back side, but leaning in there. And I feel like that tentacle is going to be crossing in front of it, so I've got to be very careful about my line on that. And then there, and bringing it down behind. Okay, so far so good. All right, and then that one is going to be curling inward. We already knew that though. So let's start at the bottom there and bring it upward. Can you see that? I don't know, maybe you can, maybe you can't. She'll move our hand out of the way. All right. Pick up a little more of this really nice dark red. Bring it around here. And like that. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, but the suction cup part of a tentacle doesn't usually extend all the way to the tip of the tentacle. There's usually a little feeling section right at the end that doesn't have any suction cups on it and just is there as the end. Let's see, let's bring this one from the bottom and it can go on top. This can be the frontmost tentacle. Go. All right, and then we're going to have to leave a space where that turns and comes around this side. There we go. Okay. Ooh, do I want it to have little hand parts at the ends of its? That's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. On the insides, it's going to have a wider bit right at the end that has extra grabby parts, if you know what I mean. It makes sense to me, which is why I said it that way. But obviously, if it doesn't make sense to you, hang around for a bit. You'll see what I mean when it's done. Like on a squid, like the wider grabby bits on a squid. Because this is a tentacle monster, not like an octopus or anything, it can have weird extra squid parts if we want it to. Go. Go. Okay. Last tentacle. And I do think I want it to be facing away from the rest of them. So the inside part is going to be there. And then very carefully lining it up and bringing it upward. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Saying that a lot today, aren't I? That's weird. And out to the end almost. Because we don't go all the way out to the end, we're out to the end almost. And then a little grabby section there. Aha! Awesome. Okay, now for the suction cups. We are going to do gold suction cups because I want to do gold suction cups. I think it's going to be awesome. There we are. Shake that one up real good. Because when I look at the top of the bottle, it looks like it might be separated. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. And take out a little bit. Awesome. Then let's see. Let's grab a little dotting tool. That one might be too small. Let's grab a slightly larger dotting tool. Let's see. That one. Let's try that one. See how it goes. Put a little gold dot at the end. Yeah, that's a good size. And then out along the grabby part, and then back along the center. Leading away at hopefully regular intervals. Who can say for certain? I'm not measuring. There we go. Okay. Then just tiny gold dots. On the very ends. Go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Four. And the 5th tentacle for the tiny dots. Now let's go over to something just a little bit larger, I think. And by a little bit larger, I mean the other end of our brush. That will make a good dotting tool. Oh, that got gold paint everywhere. Okay. And around the end. And a little bit more. Go all the way down. Even around the side. Because it makes you look like you know what you're doing. There we are. Oh, ran out of red, gold paint there. That one. Okay. 2 more to gold dot. Go. Oh, that didn't pick up enough. I might end up needing to put more gold paint out. Interesting. I'm definitely going to need to put more gold paint out. That's okay. And while we've got that pulled aside, let me grab a baby wipe real quick and just see if I can't take that little blob off that decided to go exploring on its own there. Yeah, close enough to cleaned up. All right. Now, back to the gold dotting. And around the end. And last tentacle. All right, and then friends, if you think this painting is weird, go ahead and tell me so in the comments below. I'm happy to hear from you. Even if it's just to say you think I'm a weirdo for painting a tentacle monster playing with a, basically, let's face it, it's a toy submarine. Let's put a little gold on the toy submarine too. Why not? We'll put some on its propeller back here. And a little bit on its periscope. Maybe on the ports. Ooh, if I can get it to stick down. There we go. And I think that is done. What do you think? Let me know. I am posting videos every day, so come back tomorrow for something new. And remember to subscribe, and I will see you all another day. Bye!